Hello everyone, it's the voice of W.A.W, Ben Greep, proud to announce the lineup for Hardcore Holidays 08. Matt the Hulk Kiger returns to action. As you can see, Hardcore Juvi got his revenge on Matt Kiger by injuring him, putting him on the shelf for several months. This was after the horrific incident of Juvi landing on the top of his head, being thrown out of the ring. The most vicious and vile thing I've ever seen in W.A.W history. But Kiger returns at Hardcore Holidays. Also scheduled, the pioneer of hardcore, Hex, versus his former student and protege, Serge.
And company.
Footage, the hellhounds of Serge and Hex, even Hardcore Juvi at one point in time, have always had an allegiance.
What's up, man?
What's going on with the hellhounds, man? I thought we had that together, man. Y'all hang out with the elite and everything now. I thought we were trying to work on this.
You know what? We are going to start the hellhounds back up. It's time I get ready to leave. All it's done is giving a whole bunch of losses. So we'll get back together, and I'll make sure the #1 contendership, the gauntlet for the gold, is determined by you and me, so some hellhound gets the world title back. And we'll be right back on top of the world.
That's what I'm saying.
You're
right
my
there,
boy,
man.
Serge.
That's what I'm saying.
You're my boy.
I was hoping for that. That's perfect, man. That's perfect. So
We're going to show everybody why we are the best goddamn thing going today.
You got that right.
We thought the allegiance, the alliance between these two, this teacher-student relationship was stronger than ever after that backstage vignette. But as you can see here, in the first round of the W.A.W Gauntlet for the gold, it was the innovator of violence of the elite versus Serge of the Hellhounds, and Hex showed his true colors as I.O.V got the quick roll-up, grabbing the pants and getting the easy 1-2-3 in the first round. Hex showed his true colors, aligning himself with the elite and apparently ditching Serge. But Serge is certainly coming to his own, and he would not have any of it as he dumped his former teacher right on the top of his head. These two men would later go on to have a matchup at To the Extreme, a one-on-one confrontation under traditional wrestling rules. Both men excel at the hardcore, but they wanted to prove that they can out-wrestle one another. With the referee's back turned, Serge took advantage, took a page right out of Hex's book, dumped him on that steel, made the cover, the referee didn't see it, he made the count, and Serge had a pinfall victory over his former teacher. But Hex would have none of it, and both men will square off at Hardcore Holidays. Also scheduled, the innovator of violence versus SuperMex Diego Horta. This one too has been brewing since the restart of W.A.W. As you can see here, this was a matchup in the first round of the tournament to crown a new championship. The Riley veteran, the innovator of violence, versus the relative newcomer, SuperMex Diego Horta. And Horta would beat I.O.V from pillar to post. But I.O.V always had something up his sleeve, and that was the W.A.W Elite. As you can see from this footage of the first round, the Elite played a huge factor in this matchup. On the outside, I.O.V and SuperMex battling. SuperMex's knee gave out on him, and the Elite made the distraction. And I.O.V got the count-out victory. If the Elite weren't involved, would SuperMex have gone on to maybe win possibly W.A.W gold? We'll never find out. But later on, we had a beautiful six-man tag match with the W.A.W Elite versus Hardcore Juvi, SuperMex Diego Horta, and Dread. This was a classic W.A.W matchup, six-man tag action. But again, I.O.V and SuperMex squaring off. And Diego was always get the better of the former champion. But the Elite still came out on top. As you can see, a pattern started to develop here. I.O.V wasn't necessarily avoiding SuperMex. He just wasn't facing him in one-on-one competition. That's all that Diego Horta wanted. A one-on-one confrontation, a one-on-one match. He would never get it, but he would still continue to beat the living daylights out of the innovator of violence, as you can see with this huge wham F5. But that he always has something up his sleeves. Hex on the outside, and I.O.V got another victory over Diego Horta. But SuperMex would get his revenge on Hex. As you can see here with this bang, brutal Tijuana twist through the table in the corner. Is this what could happen to the innovator of violence at Hardcore Holidays? We'll find out as they finally square off one-on-one.
Good job, buddy. Elite, I.O.V,
Kiger. Apparently this guy isn't very elite. Both you little pussies are next.
SuperMex would not get his hands on Kiger due to his injury, but he would continue to just beat and batter the innovator of violence, as you can see here in this handicap match. You see, I.O.V was given the power to pick SuperMex Diego Horta's opponents. He had a favor from the commissioner, and he cashed it in. He would pick opponents like K-Chug and Alibaba, and SuperMex would easily dispatch these foes. But in this matchup, we thought we were going to get I.O.V and SuperMex one-on-one. But I.O.V had another trick up his sleeve once again and made it a handicap match. They beat down Diego Horta. Both men an unfair advantage for SuperMex, smashing his face down with the I.O.V experience. We thought it was all over here, and I.O.V would get yet another victory, pinfall victory on SuperMex Diego Horta. But luckily, Serge came in and evened the odds, and we had an impromptu backyard brawl. SuperMex Diego Horta and I.O.V will square off one-on-one, as will these two combatants, Hex and Serge, in a hardcore battle. Hardcore Holidays is shaping up quite nicely. But what condition is Serge in after being dumped on his head and all the wind driven out of him with that Suicide splash? We'll find out at Hardcore Holidays 08. The Elite have constantly won, but we'll see if those two have revenge. And finally, it's gonna happen! Our champion, Hardcore Juvi, will battle the challenger, Rear Admiral Reed. The most heated rivalry in all of W.A.W's 10 years has come to a head. As you can see from this footage, from the Gauntlet for the Gold, the final two combatants were Rear Admiral Reed and Hex. And Rear Admiral Reed delivered Hex's face on that trash can with the corporal punishment and gained the victory, solidifying himself as the #1 contender for Hardcore Juvi's championship. At Hardcore Holidays 08, the final time these two men will square off. As you can see from this classic footage, the W.A.W Championship is on the line. The greatest American alive versus the toughest man in W.A.W.
Oh my God! Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, and still, Waco is.
You are now witnessing classic footage of the battles that these two men have had. Right here, this is footage from the Texas Barbed Wire Death Match. A vicious and vile confrontation, not for the weak at heart, not for the easily stomach-turned. And I'm telling you, this is violent, this is brutal, and is this a precursor of what's to come at Hardcore Holidays 08 when these two men finally square off? It's been years in the making, and not once did these two men ever battle for the W.A.W Championship. That is the X factor. That is what determines what lengths that these individuals will go to capture the gold and finally get that last victory over their most heated rival.
Oh, good God! Oh my God!
It's symbolic. So no longer from Gunja Mountain, stopped all that. Now from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
There you have it, folks, the Canadian.
Fuck you. And I got the proof right here, man.
There's the proof of Owen's death.
I got you killing Owen, man.
No.
Yes, you did. I got it right here. You can't
Okay,
deny
I did
it.
it.
Oh, he just cracked that video over his head.
And to think this all stemmed from the allegations of Hardcore Juvi proclaiming himself to be Canadian and saying that Rear Admiral Reed cut the cord on Owen Hart, resulting in his death.
This is amazing. Oh my God.
An unbelievable allegation by the Hardcore one, but it was enough to start the fire between these two individuals. The hatred, the pure, unadulterated hate. They would battle each other in the ring. They would battle each other here at a construction site, destroying property, destroying their bodies. Juvi went flying through a roof. It's unbelievable. If you've never seen this before, do yourself a favor and check out the construction match. And just wait with bated breath as finally these two men will square off for the most coveted prize in W.A.W history. The W.A.W Championship. Hardcore Holidays 08. It's coming soon!